have a calling. That made my central purpose really easy. But you don't have to have a calling. For the purposes of a central purpose, you just need a long-range goal. I'd say at least 3 years. Most central purposes are more like 10 years, but it's not that complicated. But it is a particular kind of goal. It's that primary claimant. It's the goal you put first, and that in effect organizes your life. You organize your life around achieving this long-range goal. And that's inherent in a long-range goal, a 3 to 10-year goal. If you do not organize your life around it, you will not achieve it. So it's inherent in its being a long-range goal. It needs to be the number one that you actually organize your life around in order to actually accomplish it.
For those who don't know who Nick Fuentes is, he is a ghastly anti-Semite. He questions whether the Holocaust happened or not. He is advocating sort of a medieval Catholic approach to things. He opposes immigration on cultural, ethnic grounds. He's a pretty vile, as you say, bottom of the barrel, sort of thoughtless, this 24-year-old punk, in my view, sort of thoughtless caricature. And I sometimes think that these right-wing nuts like Fuentes are the caricature that comes out when you don't have a philosophy. When you're not thinking through ideas on your own, you become sort of the exactly what your opponent thinks you are. And he's becoming a caricature of sort of the left-wing attack on the right. He's sort of adopted for himself. And that is, of course, what happens when you're not philosophical, when you're not careful about your ideas. He is, a collectivist mystic, just like they're collectivist mystics, only more aggressively so.
Does disavowing really work? Too little, too late? I mean, who wouldn't disavow a terrible person? I mean, like I say, if Nick Fuentes was a pedophile, like if that was his claim to infamy, like if Nick Fuentes was wanting to legalize, sex between adults and the young, of course, Republicans and conservatives, as soon as they found out he was at dinner with Trump, would say, God, this guy belongs nowhere near any of us. We want nothing to do with this guy. So, yeah, but if he's a Nazi, let's read the room. Let's see what's safe. Let's see what the right course is. So it's pathetic.
As you said, you can't necessarily say that Trump, knows everyone who's coming over to his place for dinner. I think he should, though. I mean, I certainly wouldn't invite anybody to my house whose values who had such crappy values as Nick Fuentes. And if you're the aspiring president of the United States, again, you got to know who's coming to dinner, man.
The Trump meeting with Kanye West is pretty controversial in of itself. I mean, this guy's running for president and he's meeting with the most notorious, outspoken Jew bashers of the year. A guy who's fallen from grace so far that as Kanye West, and Trump he posts out on his website, on his Truth social media. He goes, Kanye's said many nice things about me. He didn't say anything anti-Semitic at dinner. Why wouldn't I meet with him? I don't know, maybe because you want to be president of a country that's not full of crazy people. Go ahead, Mark. You had some.
But this is not metric for everything. Anyone who likes him or says nice things about him is cool, irrespective of their past or what they do. I think he would say the same thing about Kim Jong-un. He would say the same thing about Xi. He would say the same thing about Stalin if he were alive. Stalin says great things about me. I love the guy, Uncle Joe.
Conservatives, and increasingly with time, are showing to just be loudmouths who drown out debate. Everything that the leftists were doing, leftists on college campuses were shouting down speakers. That's basically all you get with the right. That's all you get with them, is just they just make fun of you for your opinion. They tell you, like, oh, you're normie takes. That's, you're blue pilled and I'm red pilled. It's like childish. So maybe I'm overgeneralizing. I'm just a little bit worked up at the moment. So that's not the best time to podcast.
But you're absolutely right. They don't argue. They don't discuss ideas. They're not trying to figure things out. No, these people aren't intellectuals at all. They are emotionalists. They are personal, demonizers. It's all a matter of humor to them. Nothing is serious. You're either emotionally on their side or you're not emotionally on your side. You're one of us or you're one of them.
When you're entirely focused on beating something, when you see the left or the Democrats or the lizard pedophiles, a la QAnon, when you see the negative as your primary motivation, you're happy to be a populist. You're happy to go with whatever it is that you see as an ally, as a way to beat this evil. So yeah, that's what we're dealing with. That's what's going on. So you said you're sure that plenty of conservatives are going to or are denouncing Nick Fuentes. Yes, but no. It's not nearly as loud as you might hope. Like I said, people like Candace Owens are reading the room. Is it benefit us to denounce Nick Fuentes, or do we benefit more if we downplay how bad he is and just make it look like the leftist media are being unreasonable? These people have no honor. They stand for nothing. The only moral courage they have is to denounce child groomers, as they describe, just anything that has to do with harming children, especially in a sexual way. That they have all the moral vitriol in the world, and rightfully so. But somebody's an actual Nazi. Oh, no, read the room. Let's hear this. Let's wait this out and see where the pieces land. It's pretty pathetic.
The moral compromises that people make when they choose one tribe over another. You excuse the moral depravity of the person in your tribe. And it's an unfortunate and nearly universal state that we're in right now. It's not just the pundits who are doing it. You see people online doing it. They dehumanize each other, and they allow their compatriot, their fellow tribesmen, to do the most heinous and say the most heinous things on the planet.
Is it rational to sometimes take a vacation from objectivism for rest and recuperation reasons?
Well, it obviously depends on what you mean by taking a break from objectivism. Which all you mean is taking a break from the in-depth, hardcore study of the subject of objectivism, then yes, we all need occasional breaks from any kind of hardcore study, whether it's physics or history or anything else. But on the other hand, it is my philosophy for living. It informs me how to think. It informs my basic values. And so I am a 100% full-time, 24/7 dedicated objectivist, even when I'm enjoying values that Ayn Rand didn't enjoy herself.